Hey, it's Sunday. You know what time it is. It's time for the Frustrated Grad Podcast. What's up, everybody? I am your host, Zach Hughes, the black dude.
New intro.
I was just thinking of Luke Harper because it's one of his things. You know, you know what that means. Um, so I'm your host, Zach Hughes, the black dude with bad news, straight from Comic Con, and I'm
Bad
work.
news from Comic Con.
Yeah, yeah. There's a mixed bag, I would say. And my co host is writer, movie fan, comic book fan, fan of Italian beef sandwiches, Tony Hoffman.
Absolutely. I absolutely am.
Yeah, I,
Dipped.
I've been very tempted recently. Uh, I was at a
What
place that
got
had
you?
really good Italian beefs, and I was just like, ah. But
Nice. Portillo's or Owls?
actually, it's a place called Submarine Port in South Holland. It's got pretty good sandwiches all around. And it's like
Sandwiches.
always busy, like because I think they're open to 4 a.m. But yeah,
Hot and sweet peppers.
yep, that's always the option, like hot or sweet peppers, like
Like
both.
both, good.
Yeah, I need some kind of alternative. Is there like an Italian turkey equivalent? Like I want a dipped sandwich that's just not beef. But
Didn't Arby's have like some sandwich that you
we
dip in
have
sauce
the
or something?
meats.
Some meats.
It's weird to hear
Arby's.
that guy's voice on the ADT commercials also, because he's the like he's not putting on a voice. Apparently, he's like ADT, the most trusted
that
name in home security.
is that Ving Rhames?
No, no, it's an off-brand Ving Rhames at the best. Like, uh, I was about to say, does he look like a bitch? But that's not him. Well, he was talking about Ving Rhames in Pulp Fiction, but trying to think of a famous Ving Rhames line. Guess some, what is it? I guess some hard hitting niggas from. I forgot what exactly he was talking. Something about uh, trying to get somebody raped. But anyway, um, how was your week, Tony?
It was pretty good, if not uneventful. Didn't really do a whole lot. I avoided the Pokemon Go Festival in Millennium
Why?
Park
Why would you
yesterday.
avoid that? That's the place to be.
Well, for several reasons. One, I don't give a shit about Pokemon Go,
Did you ever play
and
it?
no,
I played it for a while until it just became a complete like brick on my phone. Like it just stopped working for me one day. Like, cause I'm in a walking club at work, so it's very convenient. I was able to hatch eggs and catch Pokemon along my walk, but it's just like it's just stopped working for me.
well, it stopped working for thousands of people yesterday, apparently.
Yeah, I heard. So, like, what were these glitches? Just it shut down where it wouldn't
Did
load,
these
or
shitheads know that if you have a bunch of people in one place trying to get on the internet
yeah, the
at one time,
network is just gonna crap out on you. They should have had like network repeaters, because sometimes they'll do that at like concerts. I mean, or music festivals. They'll have uh like a little mobile network repeating station or like a Wi-Fi antenna.
evidently they did not.
Yeah, that wasn't good planning on their part, because I saw a news story about it, and even in the news story, it wasn't like you could see cracks in this whole situation. It was like, because the person who was reporting on it, it was like, one thing I'm upset about is that I hadn't played Pokemon Go in a few months, and my entire profile has disappeared, so I had to start over. I was just like, well, that sure sucks. I was just like, okay, this is making me really excited for this event. That it'll go off without a hitch. Um,
People were booing, "Fix our game," and we can't play at the executives from
Niantic,
Niantic.
yeah,
Niantic.
the Pokemon company. Um, yeah, that's really messed up. Like they have people coming from all over the world for this.
Yeah.
Um, Because I'm trying to think. They said that if a certain number of Pokemon were caught at this event, they would release a legendary Pokemon. So I wonder if they ever
Yeah.
even got to do that.
They the goers there they got refunds, and just before 6 o'clock local time, attendees were told they would all get a Lugia, a Pokemon that had not been available on the game before. An announcement that drew big cheers from an otherwise dejected crowd.
Okay. I mean, it's a good consolation because it's what they came there for anyway. They didn't come there to catch like 100 Pidgeys, which is probably what you would catch on a normal day. Downtown is like, oh, here's a Pidgey, here's a Rattata. I have 200 of each.
Are you having a stroke?
You don't
Fuck
know
you
what a
talking
Rattata or Ratata. That's
happily?
a
No.
Pokemon. I mean, that's one of the less imaginative names. Like, Rattata is obviously a rat, and then a Pidgey is a pigeon. So, like, you'll
I
see
just sound
those
like
everywhere.
I don't think there was a lot of like time put into these names, coming up
No,
with these names.
no, like, because
Fucking
Pidgey evolves
rat
into
rat, Pidgey,
Pidgeotto, and then, and then it
doo doo,
evolves from that to
PP.
Pidgeot. It's like, oh, that's so creative.
I don't think I think there are a lot of people who play this game are not in the demo that these people had in mind.
No, like I think it was. I mean, the whole thing was imagined as thing to like sell toys to kids. I'm sure. So it's like all these like late 20s and 30-year-old adults wandering around, catching these characters wasn't what they envisioned exactly, but it's what they got.
The festival succumbed to a combination of overwhelmed mobile networks and several bugs. In an attempt to fix the issues, the company increased the radius of the event by a further 2 miles, meaning players could leave Grant Park in order to try and connect to the game and get access to the rare creatures.
See, that would have been convenient for me walking down Michigan Avenue, being like, should I go over there? Nah, it's too crowded. And then all of a sudden, Pikachu just lands right in front of me. But I wasn't down there for any of that.
Oh, imagine you traveled all the way from whatever country to
Yeah,
go
that's
to
like, who has the disposable income to just be like, you know what, I'm gonna travel to catch imaginary characters in
rich
Chicago.
people with disposable income.
Like, I can't wait to be there one day.
Then they sold over to Giordano's to get their deep dish pizza.
Yeah, what a
And what?
poor consolation prize. Delicious, delicious pizza pie.
Even though Lou Malnati's is better. Anyway,
You know, I've not had the Luminati's yet. Uh, I've always been a Giordano's and I've Gino's East person. I don't really like Gino's East, but I've always
no, I
been
don't
more of a
either.
Gino. Cause like I think I've only had it one time recently. It was just like I got, I think it was just sausage, and it was just like a thick slab of sausage at the very bottom of a deep dish pizza. It's just like a huge sausage patty. It's just like, this is weird. Uh, this is gross. Um, but speaking of pizza, I had some really good pizza the other day at Aurelio's. Are you
I
familiar with
am
Aurelio's?
familiar
Yeah.
with that. There's one downtown on like Roosevelt and like Michigan, kind
Yeah.
of.
I love Aurelio's. They have a buffet around me, a lunch buffet, and yeah, I pigged out the other day.
I
Good
am
times.
a sucker for buffet.
Yeah, any kind of like specialty buffet. Like, I'm so burnt out on like Chinese buffets,
Yeah,
but like
those little those little Chinese buffets you can find in like malls and
yeah,
like a plaza strip mall.
yeah, like those are just I'm tired of those. And it's like whenever I go to like an Asian buffet, they're
It's
reg
never the best
no,
quality.
it's not. It's like I'll have to search because they have like four different kinds of chicken. It's like, okay, this is the good one. This one has way too much sauce. This one is like rubber. It's like, okay, this is the good one that's crunchy. And
Do you
then
like the the chicken. What's that? That red chicken that's on the stick. I don't know what the.
I've yeah, it's just chicken on a stick. I've had it I've had it several times. I'll try it every time and it's never been good. It's always been too tough until
Yeah.
this one time I just happened upon like just based on scheduling and I was out in the area. I went to a hibachi grill at like 11:30 in the morning and the chicken in the stick was fresh and it was delicious. It was like this is the first time I ever had it that it actually tasted good. So it's like you got to catch it at the right time.
Catch them if you can.
Yeah, got to catch them all. Chicken sticks. Um, but yeah, like at the Asian buffets, their regular like American style fried chicken is always gross.
Garbage.
Yeah, and it's always yellow on the inside for some reason. Like I don't understand what they think fried chicken is, but like it's not yellow. I don't understand that. But
Their popcorn shrimp is always it's decent. You
I
know.
haven't run into one with popcorn shrimp in a long time. There was a buffet, like it's been over a decade now that it's been going, but it used to be out in Homewood around me. It was called Shooters, and
Oh, I know shooters.
yeah, I loved that buffet. Like I went there like every week with my mom, and they had like because I went there as a kid, so it was like my thing was like I would fill up my entire plate with tater tots, and then whatever else I was getting, I would just put it on top of that. So like I haven't
Nice
run into a
little
buffet with
foundation.
yeah, but I haven't seen any buffets that had like tater tots, like a good fat ass American buffet in a while. Like because Old Country Buffet around me closed. You have to travel out
Yeah.
of the way to get to Golden Corral, and even Golden Corral's not that great. They have limited selection,
There's
but
there's only like one old country buffet
yeah,
that's near us. That's like out in like near Brickyard, the old Bricktown Square.
yeah. And I've never like at least the one around here. I think I went to a Golden Corral in Georgia that was pretty good, but the ones out here seem like they only have like a handful of like meats, and then they're like that's it. But their desserts were really good. I remember that. Like
Ever been to Cracker Barrel? I
I
hear
used to
so
go to
much
Cracker
about it.
Barrel all the time, and I was tricked into thinking it was actually decent because I went there a lot as a kid, and I liked the store, and I liked the little peg game that they had at the table. I used to play that until the food
Uh,
got there. But I went as an adult, and it's just like this food is just like j- it's it's lazy white people comfort food.
yeah, Cracker Barrel.
uh, And then now I know that. I mean, the store is still cool. They have all those like die-cast cars, but like generally the food isn't anything to write home about.
You remember Ponderosa?
It sounds familiar, but I never went there. Is that something like a sizzler or
Yeah, it's
okay,
where you get like your main. You pick your main meat, and then you have the buffet to get your sides,
okay? Yeah, because I went to
salads and stuff.
Sizzler with my aunt back in the day, and we went to Shakey's, which I think is
Shaky.
kind of like that. You get your tray, and you just go along the thing, and you put your stuff on there. But yeah, I'm gonna get hungry for a buffet, so we should move on. But that's an update on my week. I did go to that pizza buffet this week, and now it's just it opened up my palate because
Yeah.
uh,
Oh, speaking of your palate, how's your upper mouth?
yeah,
The roof of your mouth.
I had suffering badly from canker sores last week, and for the most part they're gone, so I can eat like a normal human again. So that's nice. I can get off of my yogurt diet. Although I've
Did you
like
lose any
developed a
weight?
taste for yogurt now.
Oh, oh
It's,
God, you've gotten used to it.
yeah, it's like it's a nice light snack. So like I won't eat like a dollar chicken sandwich when I'm hungry now. I'll just pop open a yogurt. So
Did you explore any of the flavors, like the coconut or the coffee mocha flavor,
yuck.
or the other stuff there?
I mean, well, I don't know if you're familiar, but the Aldi selection of yogurt isn't as
I am not
extensive.
familiar.
I did go and get some Yoplait because I there had a couple other flavors that were different. Although I think I only ended up grabbing like a raspberry and just or plain strawberry. But it reminded me of why I don't like Yoplait yogurts because of the curved top. You can't like you have to dig around to get the last bit of yogurt out. But anyway,
Every last drop.
enough yogurt talk. There's bigger news out there than this week in yogurt.
There is.
Yeah, there was a little convention that occurred in San Diego. Uh, I believe they call it the
Furry convention.
comics. No, no. I think that's in Vegas, but Comic Con took place this week. Is it over or what's the deal? Is there? I think
Today.
yeah. All right, so I think they've probably wrung out the last bit of juicy news already.
They saved some big stuff for today sometime.
Okay,
Usually on the last day.
some
They
kind of
still haven't
Hall
released
H panels.
the official Avengers Infinity War trailer yet.
Okay. Yeah, I keep seeing people post like, "Oh, the trailer leaked," although it's just like it's grainy bootleg video. Uh, so
I
I
saw
don't watch
one.
that.
Oh, I saw one where it's like someone. It looks like someone's like videotaping like actually inside the room,
Mm-hmm.
like with like the actual big giant screen that everyone's
Yeah,
watching, and you get like the Marvel logo, and then it's like the fucking Rick Roll thing. In the way that it's on
that's
there. It's
perfect.
so like how the hell did they put it on the screen that like to reframe it on the size of
Wait,
that
so they
screen? That
actually
was
put the
kind of
Rick
cool.
roll on the screen in the footage? Is it
No, it
doesn't
was
just cut?
someone like edited it
Okay.
to make it look there.
I know, but I'm saying they actually edited so that the
Yeah,
Rick Astley video was playing on that little screen
yeah,
in the
yeah.
video. Because usually when they'll do something like that, it just cuts
It'll just
completely.
cut to the yeah.
So that's pretty creative. I would applaud that. That's why I don't uh, check into these videos anyway because it's like, well, this isn't how I want to see this trailer. And now at this point, I don't want to see the trailers at all, really.
I have not watched a single trailer from Comic Con.
Yeah, only one I was tempted to watch, which I'm probably gonna watch anyway later, is the Stranger Things trailer because I'm really ready for that because the first preview for that was like a Super Bowl, like coming in what is like October or December. It's just like Jesus Christ.
If
Um,
it's something that I'm not all that invested in, I'll look at the trailer.
yeah, I mean even Justice League, which I don't have any anticipation for, is just like you know what, I'll hold off. Like I'll wait as long as I can until like somebody I really enjoy on YouTube. Maybe they'll do a reaction of it, or if it plays before a movie I'm watching, then I'll be forced to see it. But otherwise, I'm not gonna seek it out, especially a
It's just
bootleg version of it.
it's just the more that I hear and see about it, it just looks like it's gonna be the biggest piece of shit
Yeah, and like,
ever
uh,
made.
yeah, and related to that, like the Batman movie is just falling apart like day by day.
Hey, they announced that it's officially called the Batman.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that was pretty cemented for a while now. But yeah, it's gonna be the Batman without any of the buzz that it initially had. Like, okay, Ben Affleck was gonna write,
Right
direct,
and
and
direct.
star in it. No,
Academy Award winner Ben
it's like
Affleck.
okay, no, he's not gonna write or direct it now. It's like okay, but he's still gonna star in it. Now it's like, well, he might not be in it at all. So it's like, all right, great. So
Well, I mean, Matt Reeves, who did the Planet of the Apes prequels, like he's directing it, and that's a very encouraging. That's at least encouraging because he did a
yeah,
good job with those movies. I like
yeah,
his vision.
yeah. So like that's hopeful. But it's just like I don't. What is this story gonna be now? Like, is it gonna be like Batman Beyond? Is
It's supposed to be
somebody gonna
like
be replacing?
a more detective like story, a more detective like
So
Batman.
you're gonna finally do the world's greatest detective just after the person who's been established as Batman in this universe disappears. So the detective work seems like a more of an old school type of skill for Batman to have, and you're gonna have the new replacement do it. But
Well, Affleck says he's staying, so
all right, hopefully that's the case. But it seemed like they were. there was speculation earlier in the week, but maybe it's all died down.
He confirmed it at the Comic Cons
All right,
yesterday.
cool. So what?
On that encouraging note,
Yeah,
let's talk about something that we're actually excited about.
yeah. What other news? I mean, there's the all the Avengers stuff. Um, so have they shown the footage from Infinity War yet? That's
Yeah,
already
they showed the same footage at Comic Con that they showed at D23. What was
okay.
it, last week or the week before?
I think it was last week.
Yeah.
Okay, so they showed that. Still haven't seen any of that, and I'm probably gonna still avoid it. I know there's a leak. I don't know. I won't even look into it because I don't want to get spoiled. But there's supposed to be a leak about something that Mark Ruffalo accidentally revealed, and I don't want to know anything
I
about
am
that.
not aware, so
Well, I'm gonna stop it there because it's like, oh, you know what? I don't want to know this at all. Uh, so hopefully that's not the case.
they
Hopefully,
announced Marvel announced a whole bunch of stuff. Michelle Pfeiffer is officially cast as Janet Van Dyne in the Ant-Man and the Wasp,
so she would be.
the
So
one who got who won Atomic.
yeah, so she's the one she's well, she was thought dead. Apparently, she's not. So spoilers. Okay, so that's interesting.
Uh,
So she's gonna be a young Janet Van Dyne because she would like in present day she would have to be as old as Kirk Douglas. I don't think she is exactly
how old is Michael Douglas? He's like
Michael
in the
Douglas.
72, 73. Or...
Probably around there. And she doesn't look like she would be
She's in
old
her
enough to
60s.
be. I mean, I mean, she looks pretty good. I mean, I guess she could pull it off. You're like, oh, I'm back, and I've aged just as much as you have in the time I've been teeny tiny. So that'd be interesting to see how that plays out. So is she going to be the wasp in present day, or is she gonna pass that down to somebody?
I assume that she's gonna be the mother, and obviously, what's her face? The hell's her name from Lost?
Evangeline Lilly.
Evangeline Lilly is gonna take on that mantle as we saw at the end of the movie
Yeah.
during the post credits thingy.
So I wonder, did he like? I'm trying to think back to Ant Man. Like, so that wasn't her mom's suit that she saw at the end of the movie. It was just
Yeah.
a new suit based on hers, I guess. So
Yeah.
maybe she'll pop back up in her old suit, just like, oh, I'm back. Doctor Strange helped me come back from the quantum realm because he can do stuff like that.
We shall see.
Yeah,
They announced that Captain Marvel will take place in the 90s, and the enemies will be the Skrulls.
cool.
Who,
So
I don't know how I feel about that movie yet because
the period
I'm not a
piece element of it.
well not that, but just I'm not a Captain Marvel aficionado, so I don't. Maybe this will be one of those situations where it's like a lower rung hero that ends up, you being a good movie.
Yeah, I could see that giving it that separation and making it so it's probably just like a standalone thing where no other characters get involved. Those usually are able to stand out for that reason, and they don't have as many limitations being like you got to tie up all these loose ends. So that's interesting, but like all the time I was thinking about this, I just pictured her being standing alongside the other Avengers. So it'd be interesting to see how that plays out and if she ever gets to present day or how that wraps up.
Is Marvel and Ms. Marvel the same?
Well, Captain Marvel is was it Carol Danvers? I think that's what it is. Miss Marvel, the one I'm familiar with, is Kamala Khan. She's a young girl who was a fan of Captain Marvel, and I think she gets, I don't know if it's during the Terrigen bomb or what, but she gets Terrigen powers and it's revealed that she's an Inhuman. I think that's how her powers get unlocked, and she's
But I'm
able.
talking about who was the Ms. Marvel? Do you remember? Did you watch the X-Men cartoon that was on Fox?
Oh, I'm
Like,
not familiar with Miss Marvel from X Men. Trying to think.
I mean, she was a character like, and I know what you're talking about the current one. I'm
Yeah,
talking about
Kamala
the
Khan. Yeah, because I know there are a couple of them. Because there's Captain Marvel as the red and blue suit, and I think there's is Miss Marvel. There's one of them with the black and yellow suit. I think.
something like that.
Yeah, because she has a mask, kind of like Black Cat,
Yeah,
just
over the
the
eyes,
black eye mask.
covers up a
Yeah,
1/8 of her face.
like, oh, I don't know who that is. Um, yeah, I have seen that one like for Marvel Contest of Champions. I'm not sure the difference between those two.
But anywho,
Yeah,
Brie Larson's Captain Marvel, and yeah,
yeah. I mean, I'll tune in. I think it's
you
gonna
don't
be,
tune in. You
yeah.
won't. You don't mean buy a ticket.
I'm gonna be in the theater, but this like a lot of people have described this MCU as like an extremely long television series. So I just think of it like, oh, I'll check out that episode.
Uh, they showed footage for Black Panther, and it got a standing ovation.
Cool. And
I
people
haven't
just
read.
stand up and put their fists up in the air.
That doesn't make any noise.
Cat power.
At least not audio noise.
Yeah. Or you could just like raise your fists in rhythm and go, huh, huh, huh. And then all the white people run away. Yeah, so standing ovation always, uh, that sounds good. It makes me more excited. As if I could be more excited for this movie. I'm ready for it.
They showed another Thor Ragnarok trailer, and it's apparently even wackier and crazier than the last
Whoa!
one.
I'm not gonna check this out because
I
like
won't either.
Thor Ragnarok looks interesting to me, and I don't want to be spoiled or anything else. Like I'm already mad that like they've run the "he's a friend from work" thing into the ground. So it's just like, well, that's not gonna be funny when I see it in the theater. But it
Did
was a
you see
decent joke.
the poster?
I don't think I have, no.
This movie, it's definitely going for a Guardians of the Galaxy type vibe.
Yeah, it's like a lot of neon colors. At least I remember from the trailer imagery. So it sounds
Guardians
like
of the Galaxy and Doctor Strange.
yeah, and they can all meet each other at some point.
The Flash movie will adapt the Flashpoint story, and people are excited about
And I've seen people say like, "Oh, that's a good sneaky way to reboot your cinematic universe if you need to." It's
that.
just like, oh, he changed everything. So, like that guy, that Bruce Wayne, who was played by Ben Affleck, is just, oh, he's a different person now in this alternate timeline. So,
That's where you can
yeah,
bring in your Hal Jordan, the John Stewart.
yeah, yeah. Bring in some kind of Green Lantern since he doesn't seem to exist in this world at all.
That was another thing that Jason Momoa kind of mentioned or spoiled
Okay.
over the
Did
weekend.
somebody step out onto stage and like, I'm going to be the Green Lantern? It was Ryan Reynolds.
Did you hear that fucking Tyrese was interested, or he was talking to Warner Brothers, and everybody got pissed off on Twitter?
Tyrese, this
Like,
is like
fuck no,
stick to the Fast and Furious, and
got no acting.
like he's just gonna use the ring and just create a Ferrari, a green
His old
Ferrari.
ass. Yeah,
It's like really, we don't need that. Like Green Lantern has been sullied enough. We should probably do something good this time.
baby boy.
I love you, Jody. Um, but yeah, so I'm glad he. It sounds like he's not on the table for that. I would like to see some kind of Green Lantern because Green Lantern has always been one of like because I always consider like Justice League to be Superman and a bunch of B League superheroes. So like Green Lantern was always the person in the Justice League. I was like, oh, he's interesting enough where I would follow him on his own. So I would like to see a good one done that doesn't look like a just a straight up cartoon. Um, so yeah,
Yeah.
I'm still waiting on that. Um,
The one thing that they showed the trailer for Ready Player One, the Steven Spielberg movie that comes out later this year, and
okay.
like like they mentioned stuff that was in that was in like the new trailer that I didn't want to. I kind of didn't know much about what the movie was going to be, but then
Hmm.
like I read an article or I saw what was in that trailer, and I'm kind of bummed out about it because it sounds cool as hell, but I kind of wish that I had discovered that from watching the movie.
Yeah, because like I've heard really good things about the book. I've never read the
Yeah,
book,
like pop
but
culture references and
yeah,
the
so it's just
movie.
like, well, seeing that like imagined on screen, sometimes that can be a disappointment. Or it's like if you're experiencing it all at once, then you could be pleasantly surprised. So yeah, I'll probably
This
avoid that too.
this just sounds like the type of movie that's right up my alley, from what I've read.
Cool. I'll just wait and try to experience it all at the same time. Because like you don't get that with any movies nowadays. It's just like I'm going into this. I don't know anything about this movie. I mean, because
No,
number one, people don't
you don't want to get
spend
burned.
money
You
like
would
that.
waste your money.
Yeah, it's just like you know what? I'm gonna spend $30 for me and another person to see this movie we have no idea about.
I
Uh,
went on a little stretch. I think it was like maybe 3 years ago, like early in the year. Like I went to go see what was that fucking that movie Mama with Jessica Chastain, the
Mama,
horror movie.
Mama.
And then the next week I saw that what Beautiful Creatures movie with
Okay.
the Southern vampires, and like Mama was okay, but that other Beautiful Creatures was a piece of shit. So that
See,
brought that to it. Going
I
in blindly.
I remember that title. I didn't know what Beautiful Creatures was about, and I still never saw Mama. I was interested in Mama too,
Yeah,
but I just never
it's good enough.
like the one movie that I have finally got around to as far as horror movies is concerned. I finally got around to seeing The Babadook, and I really
I
liked that one.
it's still like in my list, my Netflix list.
That movie is good, and
Yeah,
it's really creepy.
sure.
Isn't it so weird that like now people are trying to make the Babadook like a gay icon? It's just like what are you doing? The Babadook is not a gay icon. He's a symbol for well,
The internet.
spoiler alert. Is you'll see once you watch it. It's totally worth it. Like cause I think I always heard like Doug Benson reference to Babadook, and I was like, I need to finally watch that, and it was good.
They show trailers for all of the WB or the CW superhero shows, and
Okay, does anything look like it's redeeming itself from the how horrible they've been this past like year or so?
well, just from like reading like the headlines, like the Flash trailer of Barry Allen is dead for the moment, so they're trying to like move on without him, and
Okay,
they have like the what's his face Kid Flash is wearing the Flash costume,
okay.
and like all the other people, they're trying to like you know just defend Central City without him, but you know that he's gonna obviously come back at some point.
Yeah. One thing I hope for whatever they do going forward with the Flash is please do not give us another evil speedster with a secret identity. Like it cannot afford to do that again. Like that would be the fourth time if they did it.
But his
So
like rogues gallery of villains are is a piece of shit.
yeah, but still, like
So
you
it's like
make
they're gonna have to like think outside the box for like a bad guy.
well, still like I'll take King Shark as a big bad for the season or Gorilla
The
Grodd.
turtle,
Sure, like as long as it's not just another guy who also runs fast, who
that character
we don't
that
know
Mark
who he is,
Hamill, the jokester,
the
the trickster,
trickster.
trickster,
Just
Joker,
like
like
yeah, it's just like off-brand Joker. It's just like, really, these two characters exist in the same universe. Like Joker should have
Captain
just killed him for
Captain
copyright
Cold,
infringement.
Shenard,
Yeah, it's weird.
Captain
It's
Cold,
funny. His all
Captain
his villains are
Boomerang.
like analogs for other villains also in that universe. It's like Captain Cold, Mister Freeze should just come be like, "Ice to meet you, you imposter, or you impister," just freeze him to death. Um, I really miss Arnold Schwarzenegger ice puns. I need to go back and watch
They're
Batman
the only
Forever.
ones.
Ice to meet you.
Batman and Robin.
Yeah, Batman and Robin. Okay, Batman and Forever. What was that one? The one with Alicia Silverstone.
No, that's Batman and Robin as well.
Okay, so that's messed up. They call it Batman and Robin and just don't include Batgirl at all. It's like she was there.
She
Anyway,
was there. She had no formal training
and
in
there was
like
just a suit
fight.
made for her for some reason. Like why was there a suit custom fitted for her? Just like randomly sitting around.
Boobs and the nipples and the butt shots.
At least they didn't give her character nipples. It was like, oh, that would have been explicit. Like, we only want man nipples in this Batman movie.
Joe Schumacher did direct it.
Yeah. All
They
right.
they showed they showed trailers for all the CW shows: League of Legends, Flash, Arrow,
Not League of Legends. That's
Supergirl,
a mobile game. Legends of Tomorrow.
whatever. I don't give a shit. Arrow, and they showed a trailer for Electric Black Man, but I
Electric
haven't
Black. That
seen
show is
seen that.
still in the works. Like I'm. It's one of those shows I wouldn't be surprised it got canceled before its premiere date.
Yeah, I saw
Electric
some
Black Man.
story that I didn't read where like I guess they were at Comic Con and like I guess like the main actor said like the show has like a strong black voice or something. I don't know what that means, but
Like
well,
strong black voice. Like yeah, damn
yeah, the
right,
deep, real.
solid. I wish people still said solid. Uh,
They showed a trailer for Krypton, the Superman prequel on the
it's gonna be on the Sci-Fi channel.
CP channel.
Yeah, this is like weird because it's like it's not gonna be connected to any of the other DC shows because there is no like. I mean, I guess there's Superman in the Supergirl universe, but it seems like it's disconnected from that stuff.
It looks like his grandparents, not his parents.
Yeah, it's like who cares about that? Like we know what happens. Like they all die, unless you want to do some retcon and you're like, oh, they all fell into this portal just as the planet blew up.
And you know, it's just a matter of time before they do the fucking Muppet baby versions of the fucking Superman characters and villains and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, you can't go back past like Smallville because they did it all. I don't want a Gotham version of Superman. Like, hey, here's little baby Clark flipping tractors around on the farm. Um, yeah, we've been there and done that. Like, you can reboot or refresh Smallville and just jump us off from that in the current time. But I don't want to see baby Superman.
Did you see? You said you haven't seen the trailer for Stranger Things. Have you seen the Westworld season 2 trailer yet?
No, that's another one I'm gonna check out against my better judgment because aren't we still like a year away from when they actually come back?
I don't know.
I know HBO shows take such long breaks, but yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
they're like
probably gonna check
they're like
that out.
movies.
Yeah, yeah, I really liked first season of Westworld, and I'm assuming they're gonna do like Samurai World or Future World or one of the other parks that's connected. So I'm excited to see what the trailer shows or doesn't show.
I saw the trailer for the new Tick series that's coming on Hulu
I've
like
been seeing
last week.
stuff for that for so long. Is the show actually finally happening now? Because they like I think they did
It
like
is.
the did they do the pilot a long time ago? I've just seen imagery for that for so long.
Yeah, they showed episode 2, I guess,
Okay.
at the Comic Con because the pilot was last year.
Does it look any good?
It the tone of it and like the character that plays the Tick in this one, it's more closer to the cartoon.
Okay. Yeah, because I like the
The Patrick
cartoon.
War the
Yeah.
Patrick Warburton. I didn't like that. People like that live action one.
I don't think I ever even watched a full episode. just
Me
like
neither.
it looked too stupid. It's just
Yeah.
like this doesn't really work in real life, but maybe it will, hopefully.
It's almost like they sort of like learned from their mistakes, and this one has like the tick, sort of like he has that sort of personality that he had in the cartoon, and that's encouraging.
Spoon.
Yeah. But this,
Uh,
the whole like the overly heroic and
yeah,
optimistic
yeah, it's like kind
attitude.
of like superhero version of Dudley Do Right. Kind of make you think of Big Chin stuff like that. But
And he gets like knocked like through windows and like falling to the ground from like fall long heights, and he still lives and stuff. Cartoon.
yeah, like more of that and his buddy. Do they have the moth guy in there? I forget his
Arthur.
name. Arthur. Yeah. Um. Yeah. I'll probably check this one out. Like if they want to go back and revisit like weird, freaky, alternative superheroes, then I would like to see a live action version of the Max, because that
The
would be
Mac.
just like this
Homeless.
big, huge, like homeless guy, and then all of a sudden he's just running through the outback. Uh, that'd be cool, like with huge feet. Uh, yeah,
Speaking of weird alternative superheroes, they're officially making the the Spawn uh, movie
good.
remake, I guess. Todd McFarlane is directing.
Is Michael Jai White involved?
I don't know.
I mean, because like I feel like he did a good job the first time, and he still like looks the same as he did when he was in the original. And I
I
don't
would
know.
like it if Keith David was involved.
Was he
He was the
involved in the first one? What
he
was?
was the voice of Spawn in the HBO cartoon.
Oh yeah, that's true. It's so funny to think that like when I saw him on Community, I was like, oh, that's the same dude who fought Roddy Piper in They Live, and that's the same guy who voiced Spawn. It's just like the guy has an eclectic career. Um,
Gargoyles.
what'd you say?
The Gargoyles.
Oh yeah, he was like the lead gargoyle.
Goliath.
Yeah, he's got that voice. I just remember like that fight in They Live though. It's like the greatest fight scene of all time, and I'll stand by that. Like even after seeing like Captain America: Civil War, it's just like still They Live.
Doesn't have the length.
uh, and that's another reason why I probably will refuse to watch that stupid Ice Cube and Charlie Day movie Fist Fight,
Jesus,
because
forgot all about that.
they said their goal was to top the fight scene in They Live. I was like,
Fuck them.
fuck you guys.
So instead of actually just creating something original and interesting, fun, where no, we're just purposely trying to make it longer than that.
Yeah, it's just like, nah, screw you guys. I love that scene. It was like one of the first. It was one of the first movie moments I saw, because I think I watched it like on TBS because they used to play that all the time on there. I was just like, I love this. And then sometimes I'll just go back and watch that scene by itself.
Mama don't like Tattletale.
All right, so yeah, I'm excited for Spawn. So Spawn that's an Image comic, right?
So it is
They
very
do
dark, very
Yeah,
disturbing.
they don't have any like shared universe, do they? I think they have some characters that are connected, but I'm not very familiar with Image comics.
What was the one character that I guess it was like a female character that reverted back to DC because it was created. I forgot who it was.
Uh,
It was
eh,
some minor character.
yeah, I forget, but it was one of those things I learned about on YouTube, but I forgot what the character was exactly.
It was like Neil Gaiman that
Okay.
created it for Image Comics, and
See,
because he had sued them for something.
I really need to check out some Neil Gaiman stuff anyway, because like I'm almost done with American Gods, and that book is so good. So like
Nice.
any of his comics would probably
Sandman
up
is the
there.
one that people always talk about when they talk about Neil Gaiman stuff.
Yeah, I need to check that stuff out. I need to invest more in my comic book knowledge.
The Gifted, the X Men movie. It connects to the movie, but they apparently it dodges the convoluted timeline of the movies
Well, you would
somehow.
have to. It's just like they can't be associated with any of that stuff. Like why? Like, hey, Professor X, why did your hair fall out like overnight? Um, yeah. Anyway,
I worry about this show because I don't want it to just be just weekly adventures of like mutants, trying to hide their mutant powers from humans and then
yeah,
them
because it's just
being
like
prejudiced and like.
yeah, because that's the problem. If you're not gonna be connected to the X Men universe, it means like all these people are like just unknown. Like they never get any notoriety that they would be mentioned in the regular universe. So it's just like they always handicap themselves by connecting the shows. I feel like the MCU has navigated well because they like. I feel like Agents of
Completely
Shield does.
ignore that a Coulson exists anymore.
Yeah, it's like well they do that in the movies, but I feel like the show adapts well to the movies, but the movies don't reference the show at all. But
Exactly.
but I feel like they still manage to be like doing things that aren't like, hey, we have to be
Well,
completely hidden.
we can't do this because of the Sokovia Accords. Or
Yeah, I feel like it all feels like okay, that makes sense why this is happening. But like none of the X Men stuff makes sense because you just like reset and restart. So it's like you don't really know exactly what
uh,
is important anymore.
they have to keep starting from the drawing board because of shitty movies and
Yeah, it's just like
bad decisions.
that's the it's just like that's what I think that's the main reason why people keep talking about that with the Flashpoint thing. Like, oh, the Flashpoint is a nice sneaky way to restart everything. It's just like
This writer
no,
fucked up.
like no, we should probably stop doing that. Like I would accept just another reboot of the universe than just to keep like following this spider web timeline. Anything similar to the X Men universe. I don't want any more of that.
But in this like gifted show, I'm just worried. I have visions of like some kid in school, and then they find out he or she is a mutant, and then it gets ostracized, and they have to,
Yeah.
go into hiding, and
Send
like
and send his friends into concentration camps. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be like
Geneva, Genovia, wherever that fucking
oh the
island,
island, Magneto's island. Um
Sentinel.
yeah, I feel like it's not gonna be nearly as exciting as that. It's just gonna be a
Because
bunch of kids running, not using their
Brian
powers.
Singer is involved.
Yeah, they're not gonna be using their powers for episodes at a time, and then like oh I haven't mastered my powers. That's why I'm not gonna use them, and we're not gonna spend any of this money on special effects until the finale. It's like, oh my god, I can make light shoot out my hands, and that's the finale of the first season.
Because
Um,
it's like some family on the run, right, or
I
something
think
that they.
so,
Yeah,
and
that time.
that's a weird like these TV shows like they premiere the like trailers for those so far in advance. Like I completely lose interest by the premiere date. It's just like yeah whatever. Yeah, I forgot this show still exists. Like I'm still like I haven't even thought about Legion in months. It's just like, oh yeah, that show came and went. It's just like
There was only like what 6 or 7. How many episodes? 10 at the most.
I don't even know. Like I know it's been over, and I lost interest like at the
Yeah,
start.
that show is just. I'm just not as high on that show as everybody else
Yeah, I was like, oh,
was.
this is a masterpiece. It was like it was
Shut the
interesting.
fuck
It's
up.
it's something we hadn't seen before, but it didn't make any sense. So sometimes formulas are there for a reason.
It's
Um,
boring.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think. There's like I'm starting to reconcile with the fact that like some shows I'm just not gonna see every episode. Like this is
Nope.
there's this weird show on CBS Zoo. Have you seen any of that?
Summer event series.
Yeah, it comes on after Big Brother, and like I watched the first season and a half, and it was just like this show's stupid. Why am I watching it? And then I saw like all the animals that have gone crazy. It seems like they did like a 10-year time jump after the second season, and now they're like super smart animals, and they're like mixed with humans and things like that. It was like I'll probably just watch from this episode. I don't
The
need to
show
catch
only
up.
comes on in the summer.
Yeah, it's like I
What
don't
does
need.
that tell you?
Yeah, like there's a certain quality about summer shows, like
They're shit.
something like Zoo and The Strain. Like there's a similar quality there.
Do you remember that
I
stupid the
I do
dome
like
or
The
what the
Strain.
hell that was?
Under the Dome.
Under the dome.
I was interested in that for the first season, but like a lot of Stephen King things is better in like
As a movie.
miniseries. Well, yeah, a movie or like a 4-part miniseries is like, okay, this is getting boring now. Like I don't really care about the interpersonal relationship with these people. Just give me the mystery and the sci-fi elements. Um, yeah, like the most interesting thing about that entire series, which I think it lasted maybe like 3 seasons. It's like was the cow getting split in half in the first
Yeah, I was just about
episode.
to say.
She's like, and they showed that in the intro for every episode. It's like cow peeling off the side of a dome. Um, but yeah, like it's a really dry summer. Cause
Well, we
like
got Game of Thrones.
yeah, in
Did you see
yeah
Game of Thrones?
yeah, let's talk about it. So I feel like this episode last week was a good table setter. Like we,
I liked it.
yeah,
People were complaining that there wasn't enough happening, there wasn't enough action. Like,
I
didn't you
mean,
get that in the fucking start of the episode?
you got revenge for the red wedding at the very beginning of the episode.
Mass slaughter.
Yeah, it's just like what more do you want? Arya
These
killed
people
a room full of people.
complaining about the violence and like all the nudity and stuff. It's like a hypocrite.
Yeah, it's like I've always been a fan of all this stuff. Oh, and like tangent. I heard. I'm trying to think. What's that stupid Kids FM show? Is it Fred and Angie? They were just like, I don't watch Game of Thrones, and so what? And like it's just like a porno with swords and stuff. It's just like, shut up. Like you don't
Why are
watch
you
it. Don't
watching this
talk
shit?
about. It was, like I just heard it offhandedly in the car. It's just like I'm not gonna.
Oh, you were forced to.
I was just like, okay, I'm turning this off. But
Garbage.
but yeah, this first
Radio,
episode,
ladies and gentlemen.
yeah, this first episode, I like that we saw everybody pretty much, and we got a quick update, like on people, even Bran, who's just been gone for like a season at a time. So
He's
we
more
see,
interesting now.
yeah, like he is the three-eyed raven now, so he's gonna play a bigger role. You see
I'm
the
just wondering, what people were expecting to get out of this episode. I mean, we haven't seen them in over a year. They had to
yeah, I
they had
feel
to,
like
tell
they
us where everyone is.
yeah, they caught us up on everything. I feel like that's everything I want from a premiere because some shows assume too much. Like I mean, one thing they did in this episode that was just like they're assuming a lot about their audience is just going back to that house that the Hound and Arya visited like in season 4. That was like
Yeah,
a big stretch of like, hey, you remember this guy didn't have any alcohol and then he knocked him out and stole his silverware. Like, oh
I
yeah, I had
remember
to be
that.
reminded of that. I remember they was like, I remember talking about he's weak, he'll be dead by winter. It was like, oh, that's that guy, so he is dead. um, so
I
like
had to think about like the castle that Daenerys went to at the end. Like,
Dragonstone.
was that the same castle that she was at in the first season?
I don't think so because I'm assuming that's where the her wait. So was the Mad King her father or
Yes.
her? Yeah, okay. So I'm assuming that's where she was raised. But
Yeah,
it
she
seems
was.
like they were ousted once the Baratheon slash Lannisters took over. So she probably hadn't been there since she was a child. So I'm thinking they were somewhere else in their first season with her incesty brother. Because he was talking about returning their family to prominence. So I'm assuming they were on the outs somewhere else.
Okay, so we've never been there
I
before.
don't think so. Um, yeah, because they had a Lannister flag there too,
She
or a
ripped it
banner,
off.
or I guess it was a Baratheon banner because he was the king, even though the Lannisters are in charge of everything. But yeah, um, so yeah, that was interesting. We find out that there's a bunch of dragon glass conveniently at Dragonstone. Who would have thought?
underneath.
um,
I like the Harry Potter reference, the reference that they had there
what was it?
with the because Jim Broadbent was was one of
The
the maesters
maesters, yeah.
at the place, and he said something about Sam said something about like the forbidden area or the forbidden section
The
of the
library.
library.
Mm. See, see, I've never been a Harry Potter person, so it just went over my head. All that library stuff just reminded me of Doctor Strange. Just like, oh, this is forbidden section. It's like, well, if you had one of those sling rings, you could just reach right in there and take the book you want out. Um,
What did you think about the shit montage?
I
You
thought
know,
that would be a highlight for you. Just thinking like, oh, Tony would really like this. Um,
the gagging, the
I enjoyed it. It was like you
well
can,
edited.
yeah. There was I think a first for Game of Thrones because they don't do a lot of montages, period, and then like a comedy montage. It's like he's cleaning up the shit from these bedpans, and then he's eating
Chamber pot.
this soup that looks just like the shit that
Yeah.
he's cleaning up every day. Like you could only tell the difference because he was gagging when he was dealing with the shit. Uh,
Oh, could you imagine?
it's like you get one of those mixed up one day because like the pots, the chamber pots, and the bowls that they're eating out of are like same shapes. Just like which is which. Uh, Hopefully they don't deal with those in similar areas. Maybe they're on opposite sides of the citadel. Um,
Hey, Jorah Mormont is there.
yeah, fully scaled up Jorah Mormont, basically looking like he's halfway into transitioning into the lizard from Amazing Spider-Man. Um, so he's still alive. I'm assuming they're trying to cure him there, or they're just examining him because he doesn't seem to be doing any better. It's just got him
Oh,
locked up like a prisoner
grayscale. Yeah.
in a leper colony. Uh, so like
Were
don't the
you,
people with grayscale go mad at some point? It's just like a bunch of crazy like grayscale
yeah, I know that
guys.
that island or whatever that place
Yeah,
that him and Tyrion were sailing through.
yeah, they was just hopping around like crazy lizard ape monsters. Um, So hopefully they find a cure for that. I mean, I'm assuming there's going to be important information passed between Sam and Jorah because they know people who know people. Uh,
I think that he will not be cured.
I'm I'm thinking he's probably not going to be cured, but he's going to probably
He'll
get
play
out
a
of there at
role at
some
some
point
point.
and make some kind of
Yeah.
sacrifice for Daenerys. Although he's got a ways to travel if he wants to do be any important in any way.
Were
Uh,
you as angry as the other internet people that
uh,
Ed
Ed
Sheeran?
Sheeran. I really,
Yeah.
I don't like to be, I don't like to go along with the crowd, but that did really piss me off. I was just like,
I
why?
hated it simply because they focused on him, like
Yeah,
in the camera shots.
and then it was like, okay, he's there to sing, and he literally like didn't even say anything else after he was done singing. He just sat there, just like, what was the point of this?
He had a few lines.
Yeah, but it's just like the guy with the black hair was like the important person. So you could have completely removed Ed Sheeran, and then the scene would have maintained its integrity. But I felt like the show
He's
kind
just
of took a
so
knock for just even
he's so
that
fucking
having him there.
weird looking.
Yeah, it's just like his weird comb
Little
over
troll boy,
hairstyle. It's just like, is this
round face.
time appropriate? It made me think of the Guy Ritchie King Arthur movie. Like this doesn't feel period accurate at all,
No,
even though this is a fantasy period. But it's like, were people styling their hair like that? Um,
it
but
felt too
yeah,
stunt casty to me. I thought that they
absolutely.
were kind of above that.
Yeah, like I really, it was the first time I ever felt like taken out of an episode. Like, wait,
Yeah,
why are they doing this? Like I've always been fully immersed and just completely. It was just like, what?
yeah.
Uh,
You worry if like 10 years from now or 20 years from now, will people even know who the fuck Ed Sheeran is?
I mean, I guess in that sense, it won't matter to people. It's like, oh, this is just a regular episode. But this,
No, but you'll
like,
sit there and go like, why are they focusing on this guy? Who the fuck is
yeah,
this
like
guy?
Why is the guy singing the song that sounds like a modern song? Although it's supposed to be a song from the actual books,
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
referencing to, I guess in the book it was referencing to Tyrion, but now it's talking about Jamie. Presumably, he said hands of gold, something something. So
The only other time they kind of did something like this was like I think it was like Cold. Was it Coldplay or
I
was
think it
some
was just
group?
like a drummer from Coldplay though.
Yeah, that did the song from
Yeah,
the Red Wedding. But we don't. He wasn't acting in the episode. He was.
yeah, it was like those things are fine because I think they've had other bands. Like there was a band,
Yeah.
I forget, I don't know who the band is, but I think there was some other popular band that played at one of, it was either Joffrey's wedding or some other wedding on the show. They were like, it was a real band, but like that stuff, if they're just in the background, then that's fine. This was like an exaggerated version of like all the people who showed up in the command center at in Force Awakens. It's just like all these people are here because they are Star Wars fans. There's no other reason for
Yeah.
them to be.
Like the Greg Grunberg,
Yeah, it's just
standing up as a JJ.
like everybody gets to say one sentence and then they
That was so
fuck off.
fucking stupid. Like,
Yeah, but it reminded me of that too. It's just like, okay, this guy's a fan, so he gets to be inserted into the story for some reason. And it was like for our this to be finally Arya's turnaround to be like, okay, I'm not gonna just murder everyone I see, but it's like, well, you you could start
I could
after
accept
these
it.
guys, like starting now. I'm gonna start my murder diet after these guys. But
This murder diet.
I guess that's a preview to show that like, oh, everybody from the Lannister army isn't exactly down with what they're doing, so there's gonna be some kind of mutiny possibly, or like they Lannisters are clearly on the losing side of this whole thing,
Yes,
and
they
their
are, man. They're
position
getting
is going to get worse.
attacked from every fucking side. The north, the south, the west, the east.
That's the one thing I'm wondering about is how they're going to deal with like, obviously like John needs the dragon glass from Dragonstone, and that's basically like right around the corner from King's Landing. So are they going to go and deal with
They
uh
the scene where with Jamie and Cersei. Doesn't Jamie, because he's a war strategist, doesn't he mention that the Dragonstone is where they already know that that's where Daenerys is going to go, and I assume that that's
yeah.
probably where they'll mount some sort of attack.
Yeah, so I know they're gonna clash, but like, where does John enter into this? Because he has to get the dragon stone from there. I mean, the dragon glass from there, and go back to the wall, basically. So he has to go south, then back north again, to cut off the White Walkers. Or are they just gonna end up all the White Walkers, and everybody else is just gonna end up in King's Landing? Because that's like you've let them get too far if you wait till that point. So that'll be interesting because there has to be a lot of travel unless they have somebody deliver the dragon glass to them. So the logistics of how all this warfare is going to take place is interesting because they need to probably, if Cersei was smart, which she isn't, she should probably be like, we have something bigger to deal with, and then maybe we'll fight over this throne. But everybody's gonna die if we don't focus on this other threat, which they don't seem to
What
be aware of really at all in King's Landing about the White Walkers.
what do you think the gift that Greyjoy brother is going to bring to Cersei?
It's gonna be somebody, a person like he's gonna either try to capture like Tyrion or somebody, one of their enemies. Either I'm assuming he wouldn't like bring them the person's head because for TV we need to draw it out more. So I'm assuming he's gonna capture somebody like Tyrion, and then we're gonna see how that plays out. Somehow he's going to do something that's satisfactory because they're going to partner up because they have to. Like they're just completely lost if she doesn't accept this offer. Really, But
Mm.
like everything they set up in the episode, it makes me excited for what's going forward. Because what we have like maybe 14 episodes total left.
Yeah, I got 6 episodes this season and
Yeah.
seven
So
next year. They're doing the old half and half
yeah,
deal.
Mad Men, Walking Dead style. So yeah,
I
I'm
like the
excited.
stuff with the, I like the stuff with the Hound.
Yeah, he finally sees something in the fire. Like
One of my favorite characters on the show.
yeah, it's funny. It was like, of course, I had to be lumped in with a bunch of fire worshippers. Like yeah, you got to get over that thing with fire. Uh, so it sounds like he finally believes. He sees the wall. He sees the White Walkers. Uh, and they have giants. The
Yeah, the giant that got killed and
I
the
don't think
Wild Wings
I think
from.
from one of the reviews I listened to, I think 1-1 is that's the Giants' name. I think they're supposed to none of those is supposed to be 1-1 because I think he dies south of the wall, but I'm not sure because he died in the battle with uh
He died at a Winterfell.
yeah with the huge battle that John was in versus
Yeah.
Ramsay. So none of those should be 1-1, but I guess those are like some of the original Giants because I think 1-1 was the last of the Giants. So like those are his relatives because they're pretty bony, at least from the one we saw. I think they had like
I'm
a
not sure
skull
about that,
face.
but we'll see.
We'll see because there was at least two of them. So, but I think 1-1, he they probably burned him like they're supposed to if he was south of the wall. But maybe we'll find out more in further episodes. But yeah, everybody better start burning their dead because you're gonna have to fight them off soon.
Like shooting them in the head on the Walking Dead.
Yeah, it's a little bit more complicated than that though. Uh, although if you have some dragon glass, and it's like nothing. I mean, I guess the dragon glass kills the White Walkers, but those like whites, I think they just call them whites, the zombie bony ones. Seems like you barely can kill them at all. You like have to dismantle them almost, because they'll keep coming at you. Um,
Coming at you, Cleopatra.
yeah, I'm excited for this next episode. I even signed up for a trial of HBO now.
Ooh.
Yeah, so
So
I'm
you
going
did have
for a
one
whole month.
available.
I didn't know if I did or not, but I have so many different accounts because I had one. I used to have one on my Xfinity account. Then I had a separate one when I had Sling TV, or was it with PlayStation View? But like I just signed up for another. Just like all right,
One.
I think this one's connected to the Amazon this time. So on
Hey,
that,
did you you said that you were gonna go see Girl Trip. Did you see Girl Trip?
I did not. Yeah, I'm going to actually see that on Broke Ass Tuesday. I also will need to see Valerian. I don't think that did that come out last week or is it next week?
That came out on Friday and it bombed. It debuted in fifth place, making 17 million.
Well, great for me. It's gonna be light attendance when I go check it out. I don't really care about box office. I just want to see a movie by myself. So
Even if it's bad.
I mean, I expected it to be visually stunning, but Cara
That's
Delevingne was
the
one of the
consensus.
stars, so why would I expect it to be good as far as acting is
But
concerned?
I'm hearing bad things from like Dane DeHaan as like he's kind of like out of his depth in terms of being like some tough
I
like.
mean, he is a creepy dude who I would see more as a villain than a hero, so that would make sense for it to seem
But
awkward.
from what I've read in the reviews, like this role requires like a sort of like some sort of like strong dashing like.
Okay.
He
So
he definitely has that sort of angsty
so
little
he's
dweeb
no
kid vibe.
Star Lord.
No, no.
Uh
Number
yeah.
one movie was Dunkirk, Christopher Nolan's World War II
People rather see
epic.
people get their heads blown off than watch a visually stunning space opera.
Hell yeah,
I guess so.
Dunk
Uh good for
Oscar
them.
worthy. Made 50 million. Girls Trip came in second place with 30 million. So
Hey, shout out to Girls Trip. That's that's a testament to my taste right there. So, Girls Trip first, Valerian second, and probably never see Dunkirk because yeah, seen enough
I'm
people's
just not
heads
interested.
blown off. Yeah, it's like
World War II shit.
yeah, it's like how many movies are there about World War II? Like if you probably counted the run times of all of the World War II movies, probably counts out to longer than the actual war time.
It's fucking war fascination, whether it's like Vietnam or World War II. It's like I guess people like that shit, and there's an audience for it.
I guess, but it's just like well, like I feel like if you've seen one, you've seen them all. You see a platoon of guys. You learn about who they are. You get to bond with them, and then you watch
War is
them one by
hell,
one get their heads blown off.
sacrifice.
It's just like, all
They have
right,
families.
it's like we know these guys are heroes. We understand. Like, how about you focus on like
We
let's
will
have
give
like
you
a
your
World War
disc.
II prequel. Like you learn about these guys and why they felt like their only option was to enlist, and then you can just yada yada through
Well,
the
their
war
option
part.
was that they didn't have any. They got drafted. Like
Well, yeah. Well, that's a compelling story on its own. It's just like I
which has
was
been
gonna
told
I was gonna be a
many times.
I was gonna be a promising physicist. Like now you're going to war, Sonny, and then he gets shot down and killed. Another one bites the dust.
Yeah, man. Why we gotta keep making these movies? We already gave them their 10% Denny's discount and shit.
Is it just 10%? Like I
I
feel
don't
like
know.
that seems like not enough to buy a fake naval uniform on Amazon and get a bunch of flags and pendants that don't mean anything. Have you seen those like exposed videos, like where military people will confront people wearing uh, uh, fake
Oh,
uniforms? Yeah, because
well,
there's
no, but I did see that shithead, that sheriff from Wisconsin, that the one that allegedly was like had like an appointment in the Trump administration, had like those his colors, as they call them, the badges
yeah,
and stuff. Like it was just random bullshit that he was just putting on his uniform.
yeah, because that was one of the things I saw. Like there was this, I think it was the army guy who was calling out this guy for wearing a fake uniform. It was like, what does this ribbon mean or whatever? He's pulling stuff
Shit from a
off of his
Cracker Jack
jacket.
box.
It was like this doesn't even mean anything. Just call him out. So it's like there's some weird people out there who wanna play military, but
They got that fetish for that
yeah,
shit.
yeah. I mean, even our president you
He
could say
likes
he's
trucks.
guilty of it. Like, oh, I always wanted a Purple Heart. Now someone just handed me one. Good for me. It's just like, all right, and he kept it. Um, but yeah, so no Dunkirk for me.
Dunkirk free.
Yeah,
Dunkirk free.
I'm Dunkirk with Dunkirk. Anyway, any other big news from this week? There's a couple items in under the category of PP news, I guess you could say. Uh,
Oh, do
means
tell.
Stephen Colbert visited the infamous Russian
Oh, I saw that.
presidential suite.
Dude, I saw that screenshot of him jumping up and down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
um, he
He's doing
checks
a
it out
show
with the black
actually.
light, but we don't see any real results. It's played for comedy, but it's interesting to see what the room looks like. It does seem like a place where somebody would
Get a
pee
hooker
on
and
somebody. Yeah. Uh, but in other PP news, uh, all this R. Kelly stuff is like, he,
feels like 2002 all over again.
yeah, it's just like um, it feels almost comfortably familiar. It's like, that's the R. Kelly I know.
Like you got the R. Kelly like pedophile PP stuff. You got the OJ, getting probation.
Yeah, he's the juice is loose. I mean, no pun intended with the PP stuff, but the juice is loose. R. Kelly's back to his old antics. Usher is revisiting his chart-topping
Herpes.
hit "Let It Burn." uh, yeah, everybody's
But doesn't
Throwback Thursday
Usher
mode.
just seems Usher just seems like a real piece of garbage, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean he was taught by the best. You could say by uh, P Diddy. Uh, was exposed to sex with older ladies at a young age, so he never learned the proper etiquette. He probably didn't ever see that sex ed banana demonstration, so um, he was just ill equipped for
Going in raw.
the sex crazed world of Atlanta that he's in. Um,
Cheated on multiple wives and girlfriends.
yeah,
He had that with that Snapchat or whatever, the picture of him with his dick that was small, and everybody made fun of.
I did not see it. Um, he boinked one of his wife's bridesmaids. But yeah,
He
so
he unleashed Justin Bieber on it.
yeah, that's the worst crime of all. Like, forget the herpes, the $1 million herpes outbreak, but Justin Bieber was the real crime against humanity. Um, but yeah, with the R. Kelly stuff, is just like it's it's so it's so normal at this point for what we know about R. Kelly. Like, yeah, this seems about right. I could see him trapping.
My
Sounds,
mind is telling me no, but my
but
body is
my
telling me yes.
bladder is telling me yeah. Um, yeah, I could picture him holding someone against their will and
I
in
could
some
see him.
kind of
I could,
sex
I could see him
cult.
holding someone captive in his dungeon.
Yeah, he's like our modern era Rick James, so it's kind of par for the course. It seems like the victims, or at least one victim, is coming out and being like, "Hey, mind your business." Just like
I know, right? Did you see? You read that shit?
it's just like weird. It's just like I guess maybe she's getting
Brainwashed.
compensated. Well, I I don't know how clean your brain would get if it's being washed with what R. Kelly likes to use, but
Did you
yeah,
see that? Some picture that she uploaded or somebody uploaded. Like him was like asleep, like on some hotel couch with the covers on and shit that
no,
she had taken after. I guess after they had fucked her.
I mean that's a after sex snaps and Instagram posts are all the
Fucking
rage now.
50. It's 50-year-old ass.
Yeah, it's interesting that this is like coming to light now because like you would think he would have learned, went to trial for all this stuff,
Well,
but
when you go on trial, you don't get convicted. I mean,
I
you
mean, I
go
guess you think you're
invincible.
invincible. I guess
Yeah.
maybe that's a little bit of what OJ went through, but except he did. He was found guilty in the civil trial, which he avoided paying money for. But so I guess he felt a little bit invincible. And he felt comfortable enough to say in interviews, like when someone asks you, like, "Do you like young girls?" and he says, "How young we talking?" Instead of just saying no, like a normal person would say. Like Jesus Christ, you just
He's
basically.
illiterate. He's illiterate, Zach.
How does he create such works of art without knowing how to read or write? Um, I just
All that
refuse to
money.
believe it. Like, how does he write his name in snow, which I'm sure he's a fan of doing, because he's
But
all up to
have you
PP.
seen like interview? There was like one interview. I think it was like the Huffington Post online where he got angry when the interviewer asked him questions about that trout. He got up and left with his dumb ass. And,
I guess he's getting sensitive in his old age. Although another thing that comes with age, which is probably, I mean, more convenient for his nightlife, is that as you get older, you have to pee more often. So maybe that's why he needs these multiple sex slaves. Like, where am I gonna pee if I don't have
a
a
toilet.
woman there? Like, I can't pee unless someone's face is in sight. So it just
Or just
makes me.
like looking at like those details about the thing is like he made the girls wear like baggy jogging suits so they wouldn't their forms or their bodies wouldn't look like sexy, too sexy for guys or some shit.
he's almost at the level of like creating his own religion. It's just like, okay,
That's what it is. A
here's the
cult.
uniform, here's the protocol. You pose like this while I pee. Yeah,
And then the other thing where when he made the girl, like he punished some girl by making her like jog in circles naked or something.
it's just a horrible person. Um, like he must
I
have
love R. Kelly. I like his music.
he must have really been a fan of Chuck Berry. It's just like, you know what, I can do better. Like I didn't even know about all the Chuck Berry stuff until he died. Like I heard about the pooping and the pee pee.
I saw the video.
I've seen screenshots from the YouTube channel like Double Toasted. They like went through all the stuff, like had this woman eat his butt and then he farts in her
Farted.
mouth, and then he pisses on her in the bathtub. It says,
You can smell my fart.
yeah, then he like pisses on this girl in the bathtub. It's like, I can't kiss you, baby.
You smell
Your
like
face
piss.
smell like piss. Just like, wow, this is what people are doing.
You can
Like,
smell my fart.
just like I don't understand. Like that stuff. Like I don't know what happened to these people as children, but like none of this ever has appealed to me. It's just like,
Money and fame, man.
really, I don't understand. Like what's the threshold? Like where you get to the point where you're like, you know what, I want to piss on somebody. It's just like
Like, honey, I can't kiss you. Smell like piss.
I don't get it. I'm never gonna be there apparently because like
Don't give up.
they call it fu money. Some people call it like, I guess this is piss on you money. It's just like I've never reached the point of having piss on you money, but well, a man can dream. I guess.
Someday.
I
Someday
guess
you'll
it would
piss
be a
on
wet
girl.
dream if it was that. Um,
Ah.
anyway, trying to think of any other big stories from the week. Sean Spicer resigned. That's out of our jurisdiction. I'm just wondering, like, there has to be some kind of goodbye from Melissa McCarthy on either on Saturday Night Live or some kind of web exclusive
Saturday
video.
Night Live is in September.
I know that's what I'm saying. They might have to do
It's a
some kind of
long,
web
long
short.
vlog.
They have to do like a digital short and they just release it on YouTube because like that was the highlight of their entire season. So I feel like we'll probably see him again. It's gonna be completely out of context. It was like Sean Spicer on vacation. Hey guys. Um, but yeah, so I think that's everything important from this week, unless we missed some huge terrorist attack. But
I mean, there's other Comic Con stuff that happened that
anything interesting?
I don't know. It's just I just want to avoid spoilers and stuff, so I
Yeah,
haven't
that's the
really gotten
problem with
into
all
it.
this stuff. Is just like it's a slippery slope. To quote ASAP Rocky from the movie Dope, it's just like you follow one thread and then it's like, oh, I didn't want to know that. It's like, why did they reveal that? So yeah, a lot of this stuff sounds exciting from the little bits and pieces that I'm getting, but it's like, I can hold off on all the details. So with that,
Yeah.
we can probably wrap up. If there's,
Do you want to talk about Battleground?
I don't even know the card off the top of my head. I guess we can run through it if you have it available in front of you.
I mean, the Punjabi prison match.
Yeah, the 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 the
Stupid
storied
fucking.
Punjabi prison. Um, I don't
The
think that's gonna be anything. Like that's so weird that Jinder Mahal is still champion. Hopefully, this is finally the end of it, and that's all I really have to say about it. Like, hopefully, this puts the nail in the
I mean,
Punjabi prison.
Cena's back in like SummerSlam is in a month, so you don't think that they're just gonna he's gonna keep it until SummerSlam and then Cena beats him and
Why was
he
Cena
has a
beat
17.
for record-breaking 17th title win over Jinder Mahal? It's just like I would rather have Randy Orton have a 1 month championship reign to lose to John Cena than for him to beat just a nothing. It's just like, why? What was the point of this? It would make it seem like this entire shitty title reign was just to serve him up to John Cena, and that's like a complete waste of everybody's time.
And I doubt that they would have a good match anyway.
Jinder Mahal can't have a good match with anybody. Uh, and another thing, like with the John Cena return, he does this promo on one of the first SmackDowns. He comes back. For one, he said he was a free agent. Made a big deal about that, and then never showed up on Raw. Like, what was the point of that? And he's like, I'm gonna go out with a bang, and then he proceeds to return to a feud that was completely tired and played out with this anti-America bullshit, and has a flag match way after the 4th of July, where that would have even been remotely interesting to anyone. So it's like a
Labor Day.
really stupid decision. Yeah, like Labor Day is about workers. So shouldn't this be like a union flag on a pole match? I don't know. This is just like a stupid played out 1980s gimmick that we're gonna see at this pay per
Yeah.
view.
But I mean, look at Jinder Mahal. He's like the classic, immigrant.
Yeah, but we don't need two of those. Like, oh, I'm anti-America. Like Rusev had enough buzz at one point where he would clearly come back as a babyface, and he was like, you know what, just reset all of that. Fuck that. We
God,
need to serve up somebody to John Cena. Like a lot of people said, like Rusev will not survive this. Like he's had glimpses with people really getting behind him and supporting him, and he's shown that he can be funny without being a clown, and he's shown elements of his personality. He was like, oh, let's just erase all of that. Let's take his
I mean,
wife
if
away from him. Let's just make him a just generic anti-American Bulgarian villain. It's just like, all
I mean,
right.
if Cena like really wanted to like put over like a younger wrestler, he would put him over. But we all know that he's not interested.
This isn't the like everything every way that they've set this up showed that that's clearly not gonna happen. Like it's about America. They don't have somebody go up to defend America unless it was like Rusev's original run. It's like I'm pro America, and the evil Russian or Bulgarian villain just comes up to be served to him to lose. This is like it's like a match from tribute to the troops. That's all we're gonna see. It's just one of those generic babyface wins scenarios, especially based on the fact that Rusev got the advantage on the last go home show. So
Locked him in
usually
the accolade.
when that happens, it means that the person who's looks down and out is gonna come up from behind and win.
Of course.
Yeah.
Let's go through these real fast.
Yeah.
Ty Dillinger versus Aiden English, the
Who?
kickoff
Who?
match. Ty Dillinger
Who?
versus Aiden English.
Who?
who?
Exactly.
Who?
Exactly.
Who?
All right.
Ty Dillinger's gonna win.
Yeah. The perfectly average 10 is gonna win.
Mike Kanellis versus Sami Zayn. Poor Sami
Again.
Zayn.
I don't care who wins this match. Like I only know of Mike Bennett as Maria's husband, which is like the exact story
That's
that
the
they're
kiss
playing
of
out
death.
in. Yeah, that's how they're playing out on the show now. Mike Kanellis. So this character doesn't seem very interesting to me, and it seems like a waste of Sami Zayn's time. But I'm assuming Mike Kanellis is probably gonna win again.
He should. I mean, why else would they
Yeah,
have them there?
yeah.
Your SmackDown Women's Championship #1 contender Fatal 5-Way elimination match.
Didn't they strip Naomi of her championship around WrestleMania because she wouldn't be able to defend the title in 30 days?
30 days.
Now,
Yeah,
based on their
stupid.
booking, they're making sure she doesn't defend her title for 30 days. Like, the logic doesn't make sense a lot of times in WWE.
So, who do you have in this match? This interesting match.
So it's Charlotte, Becky Lynch, Natalia, Tamina, and Lana. I'm gonna go for a wild card and say Tamina. That's my pick because I don't really give a shit. Uh, like the quality of the women's matches goes down by the number of people you add to them. Like their one matches could be really good, but once you keep adding people, it gets worse
Giant
and worse.
fucking multi-man
I mean,
clusterfuck.
that's with anybody, men or women, but like, so I don't expect anything from this because okay, so it is an elimination match, so I expect it'll get pretty good around the 3-person mark. So once they knock out Lana and Tamina within like the first 2 minutes, then it'll be a pretty interesting match.
Charlotte and Becky Lynch had a match this past week on SmackDown, and that was as
Becky
good
Lynch
as you
won.
would expect to be. As good as you would expect it to be. So.
Yeah. So maybe we'll see more of that because I'm assuming that they're going to be in the finals of this match. With, well, really looking at this, there's 3 duds in this match. So it's pretty much going to be like Lana, Tamina, Natalia eliminated 1, 2, and 3. Then it's going to be a showdown between Charlotte and Becky. So
Okay, the Usos versus New Day, the tag team championship.
I'm excited for this match because I know they always have good matches. I don't really care who wins this one. If they continue
No, I
on,
don't
I'll be
either. I
happy.
don't think it matters who wins.
Yeah, it's like they probably have enough steam where they could have the New Day lose again and keep it going.
Till
So
SummerSlam.
yeah,
I,
but
th- I think the Usos will retain.
yeah, yeah, the Usos are really good right now, so no reason to stop them.
Shinsuke Nakamura versus Baron Corbin.
I don't care at all. Like
No,
there was a lot of buzz for Nakamura, which I feel like is dying down,
they
and
fucked it up.
like I've never really seen like what was
Vince
so
doesn't watch
special about
NXT.
him. Even when I watched it, the one I think I've seen 2 of Nakamura's matches, I don't think I get it. Plus, I'm not really a
John,
fan of his finish either.
we already mentioned Cena versus Rusev. Cena
Yeah,
didn't win, of course. AJ Styles versus KO for the U.S. Championship. AJ surprisingly won the championship at a house show
doesn't make
a couple of
sense.
weeks ago. They
Like,
switched places.
yeah, just like why? What's the point of having this match with the roles reversed? E- I thought they were gonna maybe bail on. I thought maybe Owens was injured, or maybe they were bailing on this generic Kevin Owens anti-American gimmick. Like when you think about it, like they have 3 people running that gimmick now. They have Jinder
The face
Mahal,
of America.
Rusev, and Kevin Owens all just basically doing the same gimmick. Like I don't like America. So that's yeah,
WWE, the House of Ideas.
yeah, exactly. It's uh, that's the that's the one thing that makes me laugh when I watch Glow is like they figured out one character is finally clicked in with her gimmick that's gonna be successful. Like, oh, I'm gonna do this anti-American Russian gimmick. It was like, oh, that's stupid and generic, but it's like, wow, that still works in 2017.
Yep.
Yeah, but yeah. So there you go.
We already mentioned Jinder Mahal versus Randy Orton.
Hmm.
I expect Jinder to retain. I
I
meit's
hope
a
not.
Punjabi prison match after all.
Even when the first Punjabi prison match did not feature the Great Khali. It's funny, like they established that match. 'Cause I think it was supposed to be Khali versus the Undertaker. Then Khali got injured, and then ended up being the Big Show versus Undertaker in the Punjabi prison for no reason. Just like, all right, it's like they did.
For shits and giggles.
Yeah,
No,
just completely ruined the gimmick from the
it's like
first match.
it's like them just climbing shit, right?
Yeah, I
Getting
hate
to the
any
top.
match where the way that you win is by escaping. Like, cause a babyface escaping a cage doesn't seem very heroic. It's just
No.
like that's what you have to do. It's just so weird. Like, oh, excitement, Randy Orton climbing. Like, great.
He's so agile.
I mean, he's got those
So yeah,
long limbs. He's climbed it pretty easily on SmackDown.
yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Well, that's your battleground there for you.
Yep. This is um dissimilar to Great Balls of Fire, which is a show that had a
It was
card that I
good.
was anticipating, even though the name was shit. This show is just like bland presentation
When is it going to
card
be
that I have no
SummerSlam
excitement
already?
for. Yeah, it's like everybody's aiming towards SummerSlam pretty much, but it's just like it's not here yet. So it's just like, well, let's fill time with this. So that's Battleground. So yeah, that with a whimper, we will leave on that. So let people know where they can live tweet at you while they're watching with excitement for WWE Battleground.
I will. Hopefully, they'll be watching Game of Thrones as I will.
Yeah, that's what I'm
It's,
watching.
at Anthony Hoffman on Twitter, Anthony Hoffman on Facebook, and at Tony Hoffman Shy, Tony Hoffman CHI.
And I am on the Twitter at Zach Reviews. That's ZAC Reviews. I'm on Facebook at Zach Hughes. I'm on YouTube at youtube.com/Zach Hughes. Both ways spelled ZAC Hughes. On Twitter, by the way, I'm probably going to be live tweeting Big Brother like I usually do on Big Brother episode nights. So stay tuned for
So
that.
does that come on against Game of Thrones or after it or?
Today's episode, I think it's 7 o'clock, so that's before Game of Thrones, right?
Oh, at the same time as Battleground. How
Yeah.
will you decide?
Oh, how will I choose? I'll figure it out. Anyway, you can follow the podcast on Twitter at Frustrated Grad. You can check out the video version of the podcast on youtube.com/Frustrated Grads, or check out the audio on iTunes, Google Play Podcast, wherever podcasts are sold, and frustratedgrad.com. If you like what we're doing, go to iTunes, give us a 5-star rating. If you really like it, then go to frustratedgrad.com and donate by clicking the PayPal button. So with that, I will say that's it for this video version of the Frustrated Grad podcast. There's an audio exclusive coming up next, but for you video watchers, thanks for watching, and that's all you get for today.